Hey guys, happy Saturday and thanks for watching. We'll keep this update this week pretty short as the market really isn't doing much for us, particularly Bitcoin. So let's dive in and we'll keep this short and given that we've got a lot of waiting to do in this market, at least in my point of view. Bitcoin this week, one interesting thing that it did do was if you look at this trend line here running through the center of this action, it broke down. And this was an important trend line because we've had, I think it was 4 hits that I counted on that and responsive bounces off of it. But once it broke this week, we saw a really strong move down. Unfortunately, it failed at 3 waves down. From an Elliott wave perspective, it didn't have continuation, and that certainly created a really strong bounce. That bounce was at the bottom of this trend line that already has almost 4 hits, with this one being a close hit. And now giving us fifth and fourth, depending on the way, fourth or fifth, depending on the way you want to look at it. And that again created a rally which failed after 3 waves. And so we've come down below the support for that. So we just have complete chop now between two trend lines, this top one here and the bottom one here. And which one will break is the question. Now, I want to point out that from an Elliott wave perspective, this is not a triangle because the Elliott wave triangles must have 3 wave subwaves. And some of these, like this one here in the middle, is 5 waves. Now, it can form a triangle by stretching out with more 3 wave substructures where this 5 is part of a larger ABC. But right now, I can't call it an official Elliott wave triangle. But nonetheless, the two trend lines are proving important. As you know, my primary is that we are moving down within an ending diagonal toward that 8,000 region. But I have several alt counts, unfortunately, with this action we've seen basically failing up and down in 3 wave moves. So not easy at all. That said, from every aspect of the structure of the correction and the current action not gaining an impulse upward, I am still looking towards that 8,000 region. The manner in which it's going to go down is going to continue to be choppy, at least until this trend line finally gives way. Further, as you know, if we're over that B wave top at 10,968 on this chart that's based on BitMEX, I'll be looking up, at least in some form of strong rally, probably to the 13 region. So what do we have here? Really not much, but let's see how this goes this week. See if we can get some kind of breakdown or break up, and then have something that's far more tradable. I certainly have taken a lot of little scalps here and there, but honestly, the success rate in this tight range has been pretty low. So I've kept it small. All right. The other thing I want to alert you guys to is, a lot of you guys have watched me for a long time. I was watching Ripple and calling for sideways action throughout the year, but then we broke a triangle that I was watching. And since that, we've had that triangle, we've had immense weakness. And right now, I actually have a short setup if anyone is so inclined. I'm shorting this on Kraken, but if you're playing on BitMEX, you can create a synthetic. You have to be careful doing this, but you can short Ripple and Bitcoin together. Just stops are tough when you do that. Anyway, so right now I've got a B wave top here in 32 region. That would be your stop, and I have a target right now down. We'll see if it really rolls the way I want it to, but we have a roll in the C wave, a large ending diagonal, down to, ideally I like to see a 12 cents. That's a little bit of a stretch from this A equals C relationship. It's sort of the lower end, but I would like to see that in terms of the overall target for this part of a large diagonal. So we'll see if we get that. I am taking it. I'm actually in the trade. Note that for fair disclosure. And I am keeping a stop at that 32. So keeping it small right now. And if we can get a little bit of a rally here, I'll make that larger. If we just start to roll, well, good for us if you're in the trade. So that's where I'm at. I really see very little in this market that I want to position heavy yet, being super patient myself, but certainly good things are expected to come. All right, guys, I hope you have a good week, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later.